I have a very special guest today.
Yes.
We have the voice of Goofy. I'm beside myself, actually. This man right here is an icon in the voiceover world and in the cartoon world.
Yes.
Mr. Bill Farmer.
Oh, thanks.
There's a round of applause happening right now.
I'm sorry about the thing with Goofy.
I
can't take him anywhere.
I know, my gosh.
Actually, I take him everywhere.
That's right.
I think the audience wants to know, we have a lot of huge animation fans listening. How long have you been doing the voice of Goofy?
Let's see, since, if I can add, in dog years, let's see, January of 1987. So
That's when it started.
32 years.
32. To do a job that long, that's amazing. 32 years. Now, what was the audition like when you had someone who had been doing Goofy before that? I know there's Pinto Colvig. There's some other guys. Bob Jackman had done it sometimes. And I knew kind of a.
There you go.
A little bit of a Goofy there.
But there was never a second official voice. It was kind of like Goofy du jour when I moved out to California in 1986. And it was just one of those things. I'd gotten an agent. I was a stand-up comic at the time and just wanted to see what I could do in Hollywood. And my agent said, "Do you do any of the Disney characters?" And I said, "Well, I can kind of do a Mickey, if you can do that falsetto." Gosh, oh boy, you're kind of in the ballpark.
Oh, wow, Jace is doing Mickey Mouse. Oh, wow.
Let's do the rest of the podcast like this.
But Goofy was my favorite, so gosh, I guess I practiced on him the most. And they liked it. Out of about 1,000 people, they liked mine. And I didn't know it was going to be a big deal because they don't come to you and say, "You're now the official voice of Goofy."
With a crown and a scepter.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, one job and you don't know if you're going to do another one or whatever. Yeah. So I really had no idea that it would turn into anything like it has. And I did like one job in January of '87, then maybe one a couple of months later, and a couple of months later, and they got more and more, and then series, and then movies, and now I've done about 3,500 shows for Disney over the last
3,500. Before we keep going, can I have those headphones next to Bill? Do those need to be like?
Oh, hey, look at that!
Oh, yeah.
Here, Dave, take those headphones away.
Probably, is it zoomed in enough? Probably couldn't see it.
Okay, yeah, couldn't see it. They're bothering me. They shouldn't be near Bill.
Good catch.
You never know what's on them. Hey, so 3,500.
Yeah, different probably project. That's my best estimate.
So we're talking like short cartoons, features.
Yes, cartoon series, several of those, probably 30 albums, record albums.
Wow. So you sing as Goofy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Do you remember the first job you got?
Sure.
Goofy?
Yeah. It was called Disney's Doggone Valentine, and it was like they did a kind of a mashup of songs. Popular songs with old Disney cartoons, like DTV was MTV, kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
And so they had, and I remember the line, actually I had, and it was to ADR, which is, if you don't know, that's like replacing dialogue on an existing piece of footage. It was from an old cartoon of Goofy, and I had to say...
That's how people think cartoons are done, actually.
Yeah.
First, which we don't.
We don't do that.
First.
But the first thing I did was that. So I'd never done this. I'd never been in a big studio like this. And I go in there, and I had to watch the picture, and then what happens is there's like 3 beeps, and then you go. It's like beep, 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 go. And I had to try and make my lips match the animated Goofy lips. And I think I said something like, "Gosh, I put my foot on the gas and I'm out of here quick." And that's all I had to say. But that was terrifying because I'd never done this before. And
not even voice acting in general? Was your first time in the booth?
No, I had done commercials,
okay.
And I had done things like that, but never an animated character. So he was my first animated character that I did after moving to LA.
Wow, and you came out here to be a stand-up comedian.
I
gotta hear a joke. You have a joke still?
I'll tell you, we were doing it earlier. I don't know if I can say it on the air,
Little Rodney Dangerfield, hey.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But I was doing impressions, a lot of impressions mostly, and...
what was it that got you out to LA to... Well, you didn't come out to LA for Goofy, right? You said it was...
No, I came out to see what I could do in Hollywood. It was the advice of an agent I had back in Dallas where I lived. She said, you do all these impressions and voices, you ought to give it a shot in LA. I was able to get an agent, and just a good audition.
There you go, man.
And then, I'm still doing it.
When was
I don't think anybody really. There are very few have done a voice of a character that long.
No.
I'm thinking maybe the Simpsons people have been doing a voice for that long.
Actually, I know Nancy. She was in my first series Goof Troop with me as one of the cast members. So actually, I've been doing it longer. I was January of '87. Simpsons came out in '89.
That's right. That's right.
A couple of years longer.
Oh, that's very cool. So you had a question you were going to ask?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Jace. Ask your question.
Yes.
When did you know you were like the official Goofy voice?
I'm still not sure.
Really?
No, I think
still going to it.
Now that you're on Speech Bubble, you're
Yes,
the
this
official
is it.
voice. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. And
You don't
the
audition
Disney
anymore,
Legend
right?
Award probably let
Yes.
me know. That was 10 years ago.
The Disney Legend Award. Wow.
Yeah, that was
Disney Legend Award, Jace.
When did you get that? When did you get the Legend
in
Award?
September of 2009.
That's
And
awesome.
that is an award. That's kind of like their Oscar for whoever they feel, kind of did something good for the Disney company. And ours was the first one in front of public, in the public of the D23 convention. And that was an amazing event because I got mine along with like Tony and Selma, who does the voice of Donald Duck. And Robin Williams.
Wow.
And Betty White and
How about
several
that?
other people. So, it was just
Now, Tony's
amazing.
not the voice of Donald Duck anymore, was
No,
he?
he is.
He
Yeah,
still is.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he had a different person come in, but okay, very cool.
Yeah.
They've had some other people do other projects, but no, he's still the official one.
Because that is a hard voice
Yeah.
to do. I
Yeah.
can go like. That's all I can do.
All I can say is,
Yeah.
that's all I can say.
the hardest
That
one.
it is. It's tough. And watching Tony work is weird because I remember once I gave himself a hernia doing the darn thing, and he was doing we were doing a commercial, and he was in the booth, and going, all this stuff, and after every take it was like. And he's like,
Donald Duck is
"Hey."
dying.
We were in the booth saying, "Make him do it again."
Ooh, he's a dead duck, Timmy.
How often do you get to work with Donald and Mickey and Minnie, the other voice actors of the Firefly?
Hundreds, thousands of times over the years.
Who
Yeah.
does Mickey now?
Now
Is there an
it a
official
guy named-
Mickey?
Yes, Brett Iwan is the official Mickey, and he's been doing it since Wayne Allwine passed away, who was for 25 years, and was married to Minnie in real life.
Amazing.
And they were Mickey and Minnie. They were just exactly. I was typecasting.
Like tiny people?
No, he was a
ties?
big guy. He looked like Wolfman Jack. If you can imagine.
Wow.
But
Hey,
he
baby,
was
Wolfman Jack.
most day. Oh, baby, I tell you.
Now that's great. Oh my gosh, dude, that's good. Man, I've been out Wolfman Jack. That's
No, I
good.
used to use that. That's one of my earlier voices when I was doing radio. I would be doing these little podunk stations in Oklahoma and Kansas and stuff, and they didn't care what we did. So I just bring in Wolfman. Hey, Bill, what's going on? We're going to be playing Stacks of Wax all day
Dude,
long.
that
baby.
is unbelievable.
Hey, Wolfman, it's great having you. And people think, Wolfman's on our station. I didn't know that.
We
I didn't
got
know
us the
about
Wolfman
copyright
Jack in
or
there.
anything. So, yeah, it was just kind of a gig, and so I just kind of picked up these weird voices.
Super cool. So was Goof? Okay, so you got Goofy in '87.
Yes.
Now, any voices that we would know other than Goofy or
Oh,
Disney characters? There must be
absolutely.
100,000.
Let's see. Well, Goofy and Pluto. Whenever Pluto barks, whoa! That's me. So
No
I
one
get
else
paid
can
to
do that.
bark.
Amazing.
I've been doing it for 32 years.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh!
so you do the two Disney dogs?
I do. I have the Disney dogs covered, and
wow.
and I did another dog, Sir Yipsalot, on the show The 7D a few years
yeah?
ago, and of course, whenever they need the Sheriff of Nottingham, who was the voice of Pat Buttram when he passed away.
Mr. Douglas
Absolutely, and he was a great actor.
from Green Acres.
Lots of fun to do his voice.
He was great on Green Acres, and they
Yeah.
had him in a lot of Disney stuff, didn't they?
Yeah,
Or was
he did
just
about
in the
5 or 6 different movies. His last one was a Goofy
Aristocats?
movie.
Yeah.
Aristocats.
Yeah.
He played one of the Bloodhounds.
In
yeah.
Robin Hood, he was the Sheriff of Nottingham,
That's
and
right.
various little things. And his last movie was he ran Lester's Possum Park in a Goofy movie.
Oh, there you go.
All he said was like, "Here it is." That's about it.
Thanks, Pat. Here's your check.
That's the way it goes.
Here's your money,
sometimes.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's so you did those, and what other things have you done other than the?
Oh gosh.
What did we just say? We said that.
Oh, we got Pizza Planet, which I figured
Oh, yeah,
out.
wait, no, before
Oh,
you
well,
walked in here,
my
you walked in here and said 3, 2, 1 for some reason, and
Well,
Jace
because we were
goes,
queuing up the
3,
mics.
2, 1.
and Jace goes, "That's the voice from Toy Story.
Well, I knew it was something.
Exactly. Let's see. Gosh.
So you're the voice. You're the voice from Toy Story. Of
I
the Pizza
did of
Planet.
the Pizza Planet. I was in the ADR group. And the ADR group is the group that comes in and adds like crowd scenes, like in Beauty and the Beast. I was in the crowd attacking the castle.
Right.
And I probably had the most obscure thing ever in the movie Beauty and the Beast. When Gaston is in the bar and he's talking about declarating with antlers and singing and everything, he throws 3 eggs up in the air and they go, look, look, look. That's me.
There you go.
I got eggs on my resume.
Someone's got to do it.
And Hunchback in Notre Dame, and Pocahontas, and
you know what? I was in Pocahontas too. I was
really.
I was one of the live action reference models for the animators for John Smith.
Really?
So we have something in common. Look at that.
That's
there.
Yeah,
You go.
you never know where you wind up. In
And
these
see what you
movies.
find out here on Speech Bubble. The stuff you find out. Well, that's it. So you come out here. So you've been making a living as a voiceover actor primarily.
Absolutely.
I mean, have you done any on-camera work? We might have seen you in anything on-camera wise.
Generally, the biggest movie I probably ever did was the original RoboCop,
Oh,
which
yeah?
was in 1986.
No way! What
I
were you
filmed that
RoboCop?
back in Dallas, actually, before
No
I moved
way.
out here.
What'd you
I'm
play
an
in
on-the-street reporter.
I've got to watch that now. I love that movie.
There's 2 scenes where it's me and the camera, and it's one of those things that was terrifying because that was. First of all, on a movie like that, you have to sit around for about 7 hours.
Until they call you.
Yeah, and makeup stuff. It was like 90 degrees. It was like 1 in the morning. Peter Weller in the RoboCop outfit was like dying because he's 90-some degrees, and they were like blowing air up his sleeve after every take because he's gonna faint.
He's gonna die. Right, yeah.
And a movie is totally different than voiceover, where you have the worst thing that happens to you in voiceover is my coffee is cold. I can't handle this.
I'm sick. Yeah, exactly.
And so I was on the set doing this thing, and I practiced this speech for like 3 weeks. And so it's a scene when RoboCop is just out kind of solving crimes, and there's a mayor being held in an office.
Yes.
And he goes up there and sees through the wall with a heat vision. The beginning of that scene, I came out, and I can remember it to this day. I said, terrorism has never been a factor in the city's politics before, but all that changed today when former city councilman Ron Miller entered City Hall with a gun. He's now in a second-floor office holding Mayor Clifford Gibson and members of his personal staff hostage. It is believed he's killed one or more of the hostages. Lieutenant Hedgecock, what's next?
Oh my gosh, dude.
And I backed up as I was doing that to hit my mark, and I still had half the speech when I hit my mark. So Paul Verhoeven, the director, said, okay, we got to cut this, and this line. I said, what? I've been spending 3 weeks learning this.
I can't
cut this now. I've already. So I had to kind of paraphrase. So if you see me in a movie, it's real terror because I'm trying to paraphrase. The mayor's being held hostage in the second floor.
I'm making this up as I go.
We killed it. Lieutenant, what's next? and I hit my mark, and that told me that, I want to be a voice actor. I have a script, and it's much easier.
Yeah, by the way, I get to go home at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, too.
Yes.
Exactly. That's so cool. So, what would you tell people that want to get into voiceover? A lot of people listen to the show want to know, they're all dreamers and things, and they want to come out to Hollywood. Any advice for those up-and-comers?
Absolutely, and I've been teaching for a long time and creating demos for actors. But the best advice that I can give anyone is, first of all, get rich parents.
There you go.
That's great.
Hear that, Jace? Rich parents. I'm writing this down.
You will need that in the beginning of this business.
Where do I get those? I need to get some of those.
Richparents.com.
Oh, great. That's a great website, by the way. Exactly.
But no, I studied with Dawes Butler, the great voice actor.
Yogi Bear.
Hey, boo boo. Hey.
Amazing.
And he was the one that really told us that it is voice acting, not voice acting. Acting is the premier thing. Get stage work. Get on stage in front of an audience. You learn so much from just listening to an audience. You learn how to say a line. My 6 years of stand-up comedy was the best training I had because they'll let you know real quick if you suck, and they'll tell you if you're good. They're honest, and you can tape your shows, listen to them, and say, "Why didn't that joke work?" Well, you got to either rewrite it or deliver it differently or get rid of it or whatever. But it gives you a sense of how to say a line and put in dramatic effects and fool around with the voice to get the most out of it. That was the best training I ever had. So take acting lessons. That's the most important.
I would tell people that too, because when I was doing Fairly Odd Parents on all my shows, every time an actor would come in to audition or whatever, they may have a great voice, but if they couldn't be funny or couldn't be on, just do something off the cuff. Like sometimes, because we'll work really hard on a script and we think it's good, but the really good actors come in and make it even better.
Right.
They'll enhance it just with they'll read a line just the right way, and you're like, oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, it's not reading; it's bringing it to life, getting it off.
And we'll give someone, hey, there's a one-line character here. Can you just read that real quick? And they'll read it so funny. We go, let's bring that character back, and we create a new character out of that line.
Yeah.
Because the voice actor was so good.
That's what most people don't think of when they. I've had students who say, people tell me I have a great voice, I should be a voice actor. And I say, well, that's kind of like saying, I got a great guitar, I should be a guitarist.
Yeah.
No, it's your instrument, can you play that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the main
Exactly.
thing.
Can you play guitar, Jace?
I can a little bit. I can do a G chord.
Then you're a guitarist.
I'm going to get one in here. Hey, so I guess I have a burning question. I must know, since you're a Disney legend, free Disneyland tickets.
I was going to ask that too.
You get free tickets to Disneyland?
I do get in. I have a pass. I can get in and take 3 people with me. But that is not because of just, Disney being totally generous. It came about.
You bought a season pass.
No, we had to actually go down a long time ago. All of us were going down there to do radio remotes one day. And the guard at the back entrance wouldn't let us in. We weren't on the list to let in. And he said, but this is Mickey and Donald and Minnie and everything.
I don't care, nobody gets in.
That's exactly it, and we missed the whole show.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
So, Roy Disney and Michael Eisner said, give them passes so they can at least get in the darn park. So it's to work, basically.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you ever utilize, you must utilize
absolutely.
all the time. You must.
Every relative that comes out here, like, can you get me into Disney?
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh, of course I can. Hey, so you got a favorite ride or favorite place at Disneyland?
Well, I like some of the classic ones, of course, Pirates, and I always go on the Haunted Mansion. For some reason, I just love that.
I love the Haunted Mansion.
That's one of my favorites, and then, of course, Space Mountain is
going away
all time.
It's changing.
I know.
It's not going away.
I thought Star Wars Land's coming in.
Well, they're not going to take away Space Mountain.
They're keeping. That's a totally different part of the park.
Oh, aren't they going to?
It's at the end of the park.
Oh, I thought they were
away
changing
Space Mountain.
Tomorrowland into Star Wars Land.
No.
I would flip out.
It's about done now, and they got rid of like Thunder Ranch or whatever around the Thunder Mountain, and it's just where the old ranch was in the like petting zoo or whatever in the old days.
The ride I'm looking forward to most is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in
yeah.
Disneyland and Disney World. Do you want to tell us about that?
It's based on the Mickey Mouse shorts,
Yeah.
which if you've seen those you can see YouTube, and I mean, gosh, we did one called Wonders of the Deep, and it's I saw it a couple of days ago, and it's had like 75 million views.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
it's
they're
like amazing.
huge, yeah.
It's like an episode of Speech Bubble. It's almost like this.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Exactly.
And
wow.
But it's kind of retro. It looks like Mickey and Donald and Goofy looked like back in the 1930s.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're really great.
And they're hilarious. Paul Rudish, who is the producer and creator of, I think, Powerpuff Girls and several other things.
He worked on Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Craig McCracken, yeah. I was there back in the day.
Oh, yeah. And Paul kind of heads up this thing, and it's
Paul's
his
great.
vision, and we're in our 5th season of that, and we get to do things on that show we've never been able to do on any other show, and it's great. Like Goofy was a zombie in one,
That's
bones
funny.
and hanging, you know.
Can you yell Jace's favorite line? What's your favorite line?
Oh, we were talking about this before.
Don't do it as Goofy. Just say what the line is. And if Bill wouldn't mind, I like Bill to yell the line.
I quote this way too much to people who've never even seen the show.
We actually quote it around the office.
Yeah,
now,
all the
so,
time.
yeah.
It's, hey, what's the deal? That's it.
Oh, I yelled that.
You yell it, yeah.
One called Potato, and, hey, what's the deal?
It's so good.
He did a round of applause. The applause is happening. He did it right in front of you, Jace. Oh my gosh, that's great.
I'm crying. I can't even believe it.
Oh my God,
No, it's
so
amazing.
funny.
No, that's my favorite episode. And then a newer episode that came out was where they go back in time.
Oh, yeah, called
Goofy,
Out of Time.
Yes.
And Goofy screws up the space-time continuum.
Of course he does.
And he becomes like the ruler of dinosaurs.
Of the caveman world, and all the cavemen look like Goofy with like saber-toothed teeth, you know, and it's a great cartoon.
That's great.
Do they give you different direction, like compared to like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, for example? Like, he's a different kind of Goofy.
Yeah, because it's a little more little touch more country. Rube, he's a little bit, on the more, rough around the edges kind of side than he is in Racers or one of the other shows. And but they give me, pretty much freedom. I get to stretch the boundaries of the character more on that. And it's great fun to do. Sometimes we did a Halloween special where Goofy got to be Dr. Goofenstein, so I kind of got to do a Boris Karloff sort of thing.
Combined
I say, come, Igor, Igor, it lives! And I got to mix characters and have fun with it.
That's cool. Do you get to work with the other voice actors when you record those as well?
Generally, no.
Oh, okay.
Most of the series that I do now, I don't see anyone else.
Wow.
I do my lines one at a time. They'll say, like, take line 8, I'll say, come on, Mickey, let's go. And I'll usually give them like 3 in a row. Come on, Mick, let's go. Come on, Mickey, let's go. And I'll try and make it different each time. And they'll say, oh, number 3 was great. Now we'll go on to line 12 and do that a few times and get it. And that's basically the way they put it together.
It's a different voice for those shorts, right, for Mickey. It's Chris.
Yeah, Chris. I can never say his last name.
So like
Montopoulos, or it's a Greek name.
Wait, so there's a different Mickey for the shorts?
There is. They wanted a different sensibility. It was kind of like, and even my Goofy voice is a little different. It's a little bit, you got a little bit more of a country sound to it, a little southern touch to it, and they wanted it a little, they look different. Goofy's just wearing a vest, no other clothes, and he's got a tail like he did back in the 1930s. So
like
it's
like a dog tail or a Mickey Mouse tail? Like
no, it's like a...
I've never seen that.
He does, if you watch those, yeah.
I will have to watch
And so it's kind of a different incarnation. So they wanted a different but similar sense, like a parallel universe kind of thing. And so that's why we can do stuff in that we can't do in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or any of the other ones, which is more the classic traditional Mickey than the Mickey Shorts Mickey.
Very
so
cool.
now they're a Mickey Mouse ride.
Yes, they
Goofy,
are. Yeah,
the main character.
And is that at Disneyland or Disney World?
Both. They're going to make it at both.
Oh,
First Disney World.
They're building it in Disney. It was where the Great Movie Ride was, and they're well along on doing that. I don't know when it comes out, but and Goofy's the conductor, and you get on this trolley and go into a cartoon.
Keep your hands and arms and
yeah, exactly. I had to do that.
Did you really? Now, do I hear?
Don't throw your kids overboard.
Oh yeah.
Can I hear your voice at the park right now? Is it in Toontown?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm in Toontown and Mickey's house and a mailbox there. Mickey's Sky School, the ride, and California Adventure. Of course, you can hear and any stage play or in front of the castle and Walt Disney World. Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Is there ever a difference between recording for a cartoon versus theme park versus toy versus like...
Very slight differences, like arena shows, like Disney on Ice or something like that. Those are presented in a big arena, which is real echoey. So I have to, come on, Mickey, let's go. I slow it down very slightly, enunciate more, because you're going to get all that reverb and stuff, and you can't hear what they're saying. So we have to over-enunciate so that everyone can hear the words.
Wow. And
you became Orson Welles there for a second.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it's totally different. It's a different sort of Goofy.
Absolutely.
With the inner workings with it, isn't it called Disney character voices? Do you have like a specific director every time for these things? Or
different people will direct, but if it is under the umbrella of Disney character voices, there's a couple of people over there that directed me in Kingdom Hearts and a lot of these kind of shows for different places around the world that may not know the characters as well. So these directors know the characters, and that makes it a lot easier.
So you've done Disneyland Paris, you've done Disneyland Tokyo.
Oh
Disneyland,
yeah, my voice has been everywhere. I haven't.
Isn't that amazing? That is so cool.
What's it like going on like Goofy's Sky School and be like, "This is me, hey everybody"?
Yeah, occasionally I'll do the voice. I don't let people hear. I don't let people hear. Like the guy in the Goofy costume. Sometimes I'll whisper to him, says, "Oh, I'm your voice," and they just in 32 years they've never broken character and talked back, but they will in gestures like, "Oh my gosh, I love you."
Wait, one second. You're telling me there's people in those costumes? Wait a second. Wait,
no, it's just Goofy.
What just happened?
Goofy.
No, he's saying
hold on.
I don't know. I never hear them.
The entire world broken now.
No, it's just Goofy doesn't like to talk when he's at the theme.
Oh,
That's right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We don't tell him.
I think the joy for me, not only having you win, but watching the extreme joy on Jace's face.
Well, every time you do the voice,
he's like my son. I'm like, yeah, here you go, son. I brought you the voice of Goofy. Hey, well, anything else? Not that you need to plug anything. Is there anything else you want to plug, or anything else coming up that we can look forward to?
Yeah, I never know what I can talk about.
Oh, that's right. Let's cause some controversy.
Yeah.
Just talk
definitely.
about whatever.
Well, I don't know when, we have we're actually in a second season of a show called Amphibia, which is...
Oh, I'm excited for that,
Yes, and I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I play a character called Hop Pop, who is an old gripey frog, basically.
Where's Amphibia going to be shown?
That's on Disney Channel, I believe,
really?
or on Disney XD, or one of them.
Okay.
Do you record that with the cast, or is that individual as well?
That's also individual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So some of the cast I haven't even met yet.
Wow.
We're in their second season doing it.
Wow.
Actually, I'm in the cast. It's nice.
There you go.
I'm joking.
What's the voice you do for Amphibia?
It was, well, it's kind of a country frog like this. He's kind of gripey.
That show looks amazing.
And,
I love it.
It really, it's 2D animation, and it's beautiful. I mean, the colors are great and everything. I think I haven't ever seen an entire episode yet, so I'll
When's
be
that coming out?
interested.
Well, I don't even know about that.
I think it's this year or next year. They just released a clip for it, like just this week. It looks awesome.
See, I haven't even seen that. It comes out, I think, sometimes maybe in the summer or something like that. I don't really know.
It looks awesome.
Anything else you want to ask Mr. Bill Farmer? Oh, I have one thing I'd like to ask.
Okay, I have a lot of questions.
You want to, okay.
No, you go first.
Well, I want to do it at the very end when you leave. So let's ask your questions.
Well, I want to get into the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Because that's the first theatrical movie involving anyone from the Fab Five.
Fab
right?
Five.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how did
What is the Fab Five?
You got
That's
Mickey.
Mickey, Donald,
Minnie,
Goofy.
Donald, Goofy, Pluto.
Got it. Oh, Daisy's not in there.
No, now they call it the Sensational Six.
Oh, okay.
Daisy's in there.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So how did that come about? Like, how did they tell you, hey, you're getting your own movie now as Goofy?
Well, okay, that came about. It was originally supposed to be a Goof Troop movie. Goof Troop was my first series. They did a DuckTales movie based on the series.
Yeah.
They wanted to do this, but as the script developed, they thought, well, maybe it'd be better as a buddy-buddy picture.
Yeah.
So they rewrote it as a Goofy taking his son on a trip. And that was interesting because with the big budget, when we did Goof Troop, I would get a 42-page script. And in those days, we did it ensemble. We were all in the studio doing it together. And we'd do it in like 3 hours, the whole show. This movie, I worked on it, probably over about a 2-year period from 93 till it came out in 95, and probably about 30 to 40 different days of recording where they'd write us, think, no, that didn't work, let's try something else. And they would have the money and the time to, to look for the best of everything and to put it together, and it came out and it was great, and it's gotten more popular as time's gone on.
Yeah.
And next year's its 25th anniversary,
Isn't that
and they're
amazing?
planning something, I don't know what.
Isn't that amazing?
I went to the most recent anniversary. They had a screening at El Capitan. It was completely booked out.
I was supposed to be there.
Oh yeah.
And
But you
I
couldn't
was,
get in
I was
because
on
your
the,
name-
I
your
was
name wasn't
on
on
a
the
Disney
list.
job in Florida. And
Oh,
I couldn't
no.
go.
But there was
they didn't even
people are like rabid for that movie still. Like they love it. It's
Absolutely.
Crazy. Yeah.
And when we did a reunion at the D23 convention a couple of years ago, and we had Tevin Campbell singing Eye to Eye live.
Oh yeah.
I sang with Jason Marsden, who played Max, and he didn't even sing in the movie. They had a singer named Aaron Lohr, because they didn't know Jason sang.
Oh.
And it was the first thing we did in the movie were the songs. So first day I'm singing, why isn't Max singing? But Aaron's great, and he did a great job. But we rectified that at the D23 and said Jason sang The Open Road with me live. And it was like being one of the Beatles. We got like this 2.5 minute standing ovation.
Crazy, dude? It's amazing.
It was amazing.
So
it was
cool.
absolutely
No,
amazing.
what these things mean to people, it's so endearing. I mean, just look at the reaction on this guy right here, myself as well.
I'm always amazed that people care that much.
Oh, I know. What's cool, what I love sitting here across from you right now is how much you care. Because you're remembering all these dates.
Oh, it's
all these. You remember the episode titles that you do because it means so much to you, which I love.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of voice actors who come in, they leave, don't remember who I was or what the show was or anything. It's not as endearing to them, but it's so endearing to you, and it means so much to you, which is great. It comes across in the performance.
I think these characters are special in a lot of ways. First of all, they're the oldest characters. Mickey was the first talking animated character, and he's still on TV every every day. There's something that they did right, and so I just want to do my part to keep it going.
One day I want to get into a discussion with you. In the 1950s, they did Earless Goofy. They did all those shorts.
They changed George Geef was his name. They even changed his name.
Yeah, what was his name? Because they were doing all these. They had different.
Mr. Geef, Mr. Wheeler, Mr. Walker, and in different things.
Mr. Walker tries to start his car, but it was an Earless Goofy. It was the weirdest character. Even as a kid, I wonder what that was about.
Yeah, as I understand it, it's just expensive to keep growing those ears.
Took more time.
Are you going to be at D23 this summer?
I am.
Sweet.
Yes.
I'll see you there then.
Oh, he'll be there.
I'll be
Go
doing
there
some
every
panels
time.
and stuff like that.
What do you know? What panels you have planned?
I
You're
have
gonna be part of?
nothing yet.
Oh, yeah?
I don't. I never know from week to week what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah?
I
He
don't
just
even know what I'm
goes.
doing next week. So
He just goes. Well, thanks for coming to this. I'm so honored to have you
It was
on.
my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Now, what I'd like to
Yes.
ask you to do, if you don't mind, is the Goofy yell to close out.
Okay.
To close out the podcast. Now,
Okay,
this is.
it's always loud, so I always have to warn engineers.
Okay,
I
you
always
good
have
over
to do
there?
it twice.
He's on.
Bring it down.
So I just turn the thing off and
So
you can still hear
let's
it.
get a drum roll. We're gonna get a drum roll.
How about a goodbye and then yell? So we
Okay,
can end the podcast.
so this is we're gonna sign off from the podcast. I'll say that this has been Butch Hartman and Jace Diehl. Thanks
Yes.
for listening to Speech Bubble. See you next week. The amazing Bill Farmer. Thank you so much for coming in. We're gonna close out with the Goofy yell. Here we go. Drum roll.
Goodbye, everyone.